Hi, I am AFFKT, and we're gonna do a live feedback session for Hello Demo. Hello to everyone who is watching, and thanks so much for sending your demos. There were a lot of demos, and I have to decide which ones we are gonna talk about and give feedback, but yeah, thanks so much to everyone who sent the demos. I have decided to listen and feedback the ones are not just the ones are potentially and probably tracks that could be released on Syncopat. I have select also other tracks that I find interesting. But yeah, I found there were some tracks that were not really on the direction of the label. And yeah, but also there were really good tracks that we are gonna listen. We have 26 tracks. And yeah, before I start listening, just tell you that we are in my studio, which is almost my second home. My studio is inside Pobla Studios, which is also my home. So it's my home inside my home, my second home. And yeah, we are gonna be listening. I'm gonna be listening here at the demos, as I normally do, because I really like to listen to music in my studio, and not doing it with headphones or just listening with a laptop or whatever. I find it's really important. Not because the sound or how it sounds, the track is the most important thing for me, because at the end I could like the track, but I'm not really focused that if a track I like it has to be sounding good, because at the end we can always mix the track at Pobla. So I really like to focus in how the fresh is the idea, how special could be the track. And yeah, so we are gonna be listening all the demos through the computer. You probably not gonna listen. You're not gonna listen like me, but yeah, I guess you are gonna listen it good, because we are recording everything through the computer. So you are gonna listen the track how is it sent. You will realize that there are some tracks are pre-mastered, some other tracks are mastered. So I will have to adjust a bit the volume, otherwise there will be some saturation. In case there's some saturation, I'm sorry, I will do my very best, but just have it in mind that some tracks are pre-mastered, some tracks are mastered. So we are gonna start with a track by Fabio Inker called No Mental Boxes. Fabio Inker. So yeah, I'm not sure if I told you, but I'm listening the demos through Hello Demo, and this is a live feedback session for Hello Demo. And Hello Demo has the possibility to decide, like, to choose which part of the track you want to listen. Honestly, I'm listening, I'm taking more time that I'm normally taking to listen a demo, because after the years, I realized that I can understand much more or less, I would say, how it sounds, or I can make a concept of the track, listening just 5 parts of the track, and yeah, deciding on listening if I like the break, or if there's a really strong beat, or beat plus bass, and I don't know. I have after the years, I just listening like 1 minute the track in 5 different points of the track. I have a proper concept of the track. So this track is sounding really good, sounding really good. The idea is interesting. I think the beat and the bass are really good. Also, I find the break is also interesting. The drop is also quite good. Perhaps what I see here is that there are some cliches that I have already listened many times. So a part of this, I think, is a really good track. Perhaps also the synth at the end. I would use it before. I don't think that is. Yeah, it's kind of surprise at the end, but it's minute 5, so I think it's perhaps too late to use this element. So I would probably use it before. But it's a really good track technically and conceptually. For me, it's a really good track. This was a track by Fabio Inker, who say hello from Buenos Aires. We say hello as well. And yeah, we are gonna go to the next track, who is made by AFFKT. The track is called AFFKT. We're gonna listen it right now. This is one of the tracks I decide to select for the live feedback session, because even when it's not the style we are really looking for on Syncopad, I find it interesting. There are really great sounds on it, like the bass and mid-range basses are really good. Technically, I think it's a really great production, but I cannot say much more about the track, because probably it's a track I would never play, but I find it a really good track, and there are really interesting things on it. Perhaps if I have to say a comment or feedback about this, also I would say that there's not a lot of dynamic on the idea. It's like you have the feeling that the track is always quite high. So perhaps I'm missing some more quiet parts, and yeah, but I'm also not an expert on this kind of sound or style. So yeah, congrats AFFKT for your track. It's a great track. Syncopat is not the label for it, but it's a great track. We are gonna go now with a track by The Cruz, and it's called Sika. So I'm gonna try to give all these feedbacks and to give also on a point I'm really saying what I say because I have my own tastes about the music, and of course I'm the one who is deciding the music that is released on Syncopat, but not just. I mean, for example, this track is not a track that really has to be with Syncopat or wherever, but yeah, I decided to select it because I find it's an artist who is probably starting doing music. He is doing a track that probably needs another structure, or how the ways are appearing on the track are perhaps not so good for me. At the end, I have the feeling that the track, even having a good elements, it's not getting my attention along the all the track. As you see, I have jumped from the beginning, middle of the track, and almost the end of the track. And even when the elements are quite similar and it makes sense, all the story of the track, I find that that I have the feeling that if I listen this track from the beginning to the end, I'm gonna get a bit bored. So it's important for a track. You can have a great idea, but it's important to, at least for me, to tell properly the story. So you have to fight to never find the attention of the one is listening your track. Also, about this track, I'm not really into, from my personal taste, I'm not really into the voices. But yeah, I find that the Cruz has potential. He needs a lot of work, But I'm sure that with this nice feedback he says, and he has a great energy, and he's gonna make good in the future. So yeah, hello the truth, and keep working hard. So we are gonna now gonna listen a track by Couture, and the track is called Keukenhof. So this is a really nice track. Congrats, Couture. You did such a great track. Couture is saying that he's inspired by places to call, and this track is called also a place, a Keukenhof. And I find that this track really nice. I cannot say much. It's really well produced. The structure is great. It's also, he says, he apologized for the sound, but for me it's really sounding great, and I really like how the ambient and the organic elements are on the track. The bass is really appearing on the right point. The melody is kind of mallets, so it's are appearing on the perfect timing for me. And it's really great track, really special, and I'm not sure if this Syncopat is the label for this track, but perfectly could be a track inside an EP. We like to do on Syncopat. We like to ask for the artist to make on every single kind of a special track for the EP, and this perfectly could be one of the tracks. Perhaps just to give some advices, the track could be even more interesting, having perhaps a vocal on it. Sometimes not the typical vocal, something special that really adds something to the track. And yeah, perhaps some unexpected things happening sometimes. But yeah, technically and conceptually, I think it's a great work. So congrats, Couture, and keep the great work. We are gonna listen now a track by Stilic and Dark Places, and the track is called Lies. So I'm gonna start saying also some feedbacks for the mix, about the mix, and because I didn't say much about the last tracks, but this track is interesting. Has some interesting elements. I find that all the melodic parts and elements are a bit too far. At least I listen it here like a bit too far. It's like the kick and the bass are like in the middle, and the rest are like sounding a bit far. And yeah, the kick and the bass, I'm missing perhaps a bit more side chain. I have the feeling that the bass is something quite simple that I have already listened, so this is making the track for me not so special. Yeah, for sure. We all do similar basses, and there's a lot of cliches, but I find this track with these kind of special elements like a K piano and the other organic elements is really special, could be really special, but the kick and the bass is not going on this direction. So the sound are cool, but perhaps designing another kind of bass and doing different notes sometimes, I think this track could be more special, but there's interesting things on it. And yeah, these guys, Stilic and Dark Places, are from Madrid, and they say hello. So we say hola from Valencia, and yeah, keep the great work. And now we are gonna listen a track. It's funny because this track has the producer, the artist who did this track, has the same name as a track I did in the past, but it probably he don't know about. Yeah, his name is Tombo, and the track is called Archake. So this is a track that in some elements it could be really similar to a track we have released in the past on the label. So it's not far away, and also he's saying he's a huge fan of the label, and yeah, it's sounding really powerful, the track. So congrats, Tombo, because yeah, you're sounding great. And I'm not so into the melodic lead you add. It's nice, but I don't know, it's not touching my soul. The rest of the elements are good. The structure is great. The drop and the break is really nice. Not really into also adding noise in the drop. I think, I don't know, you can try to make different things. This is really use. I mean, you can use it sometimes, but even using it, I think there's ways to use it to not be too obvious, so obvious. So yeah, the track has really good things, but also has a lot of cliches that when I listen for Syncopat, at the first listen I think, okay, this is cool, but after listening I realized that there are some cliches I'm trying to go away. So that's really happening a lot of times. Happening a lot of times with Hello Demo, because before Hello Demo we were getting demos via SoundCloud, and via mail and with a link of SoundCloud or download and whatever. And there were coming a lot of music that really has nothing to be with Syncopat, but with Hello Demo we are getting. I think the people is sending is knowing where they are sending, and it's not they are not sending like I'm putting the lottery or whatever. So yeah, this is the feeling I'm having with a lot of tracks we are getting, and I have the feeling with this track there's tracks with a lot of cliches, and I have the feeling that I have listened this before. But anyway, congrats, Tombo. You did a great work, and I'm sure you're gonna do great music in the future. So keep working hard. Also, I wanted to say, I was thinking about this before, all day before doing this, because there are some demos that the people send, knowing that I'm gonna do a live feedback session. So, and some other people just send it and didn't know about that. So I'm sorry if I'm really sorry if if you don't like I'm giving you a feedback and you didn't know before that I'm gonna give a live feedback for the track. So, but I have to decide or select all the tracks that came in during the last days, and I I just choose these tracks. So my apologize if you don't want that I give feedback, but it's hard for me to decide which ones were sent because I'm gonna give a live feedback and which ones are not sent, just for listening on my studio and not giving a live feedback. And yeah, after this we're gonna listen a track by Stilik. Also another track by Stilik. I didn't realize, but we have another track by Stilik, and this time by the Flying Robin. I listen a bit fast, just because we just listen a track from Stilik, and yeah, this track has nothing to do with Syncopat. I decided to select it because yeah, at the end has really interesting elements, and I think this guy Stilik has something special in his music. He probably needs to work more in how developed his sound and his music and his language. But yeah, there are interesting things. There are elements that are coming at the end that probably could come at the beginning. Also. Yeah, as I said, it's not a style I really into, but yeah, even though I think there are interesting things on the track, and yeah, keep the great work, Stilik. I see that you are doing a lot of music, and hello again. We are gonna now listen a track by Kill the TV, and it's called Mania, and it's a remix by Oli Flip. track is great. I find this track more like a band thing, even when it's quite electronic. It's sounding really quiet. I'm not sure if you are listening so in your home's headphones, but yeah, it's sounding nice. I decided to include this track because there are really elements that I really like it. Perhaps this track with this vocal used in another way, and perhaps doing a bit more, not sounding so much clap, and understanding this track like more a dance, or a bit more, or constructing this track on in a kind of a more tool way. I'm not saying that doing a tool, but like thinking more like with a DJ in mind. This could be a really interesting track. And yeah, at the end it's a remix, so yeah, it's kind of an artist, I guess, Oli Flip is electronic artist who is doing a remix for a band. But yeah, I found there were some interesting things on the track, and there are some interesting things that if I get this like an original track, perhaps I could sign it. And yeah, Kill the TV are saying hello from Mexico, so we say hello from Spain. Keep the great work. I guess if if they are the band, yeah, the music is really good. So I'm really into the original. I can imagine how is the original. Like I'm really into it. So also keep the great work. And we are now gonna jump to Cosmic, and he did a track called Back Beaten, and we're gonna listen it. Try to speak also meanwhile we are listening the track, but I'm not sure it's gonna be possible because my mic is coming in not so high and the track is sounding quite high, quite loud. So for now I like this track. There's things that, yeah, at least I would download this track. And there are some cliches. These effects at the beginning, I'm not really into. These effects is repeating. It's like kind of a plastic effect sounding. It's nice, but I would not use it like so much. And yeah, let's gonna continue listening and let's talk later. So now my concept changed a bit, because initially I have the feeling that it's also a bit cliché, with a really cliché bass but sounding good. But I think the track is not well. The story is not properly told. I think, for example, at the end there are elements coming which are really not really explained. So I need to understand. That's the reason I'm also listening the track in 5 parts or 5-6 different parts. You can realize that that if the story is properly explained, and if you have something really important happening just at the end, this could be a kind of surprise at the end, but it's better. I need to have a proper idea of the whole track when I listen, and I'm also sure that the tracks that are well explained, the people understand it better. So are tracks that the people prefer, rather than others that are a bit chaotic in this sense. But Cosmic did a great track. I really like the beat and the bass is sounding good. Perhaps missing some kind of interesting or more interesting leitmotif. There are nice things, but for me not really well explained. But anyway, if I listen the track, or at least if I listen at the beginning of the track, I would download this track, and probably I will listen later. That's normally what I do. I like to select the tracks I like it and then give a listen after one day, because sometimes you can get really excited by the track, but then you listen it after one day and you realize that there was not so special, or perhaps you listen it with another ears, and also it's happening in the other way around. I mean, sometimes you are not so sure about a track, but then you listen after one day and you realize that there are things interesting on this track, or sometimes I need like 5 listenings or even more, playing a track several times. I mean, it's not easy that I decide a track to release on Syncopada. I need to be really, really sure. And I mean, talking about Cosmic, he did a great work. But keep working hard, trying to explain or to have your own language. I'm sure you're gonna make great things in the future. So keep the great work. Now we're gonna listen a track called Harder and Deeper. This one is sent for the live feedback, I can see, and it's a track by Kramek. So this is a track it has not much to be with syncopat, but yeah, I think it really has interesting elements. But I have the feeling that I have been listening this kind of sound before. I don't know. It's like it's not really surprising me, but yeah, it has great things. It's sounding quite powerful, interesting. Like advice or a feeling, I have the feeling that there's sound. It's sounding like a pad almost every part, every along all the track, and I don't know. I find it like at the end a bit a bit too much. I'm missing some more dynamic. When I say dynamic, I'm not saying that high loud sounds or quiet sounds. I'm telling that I'm trying to say that that I want to have parts with less elements and parts with more elements, and I want that the track really develop properly. And I think that's something I'm listening a lot. Is that most of the artists that send their music to Syncopat, they are doing a loop and repeating this until the end, and it's kind of, I don't know, I'm missing some soul on the structure, I want to feel this track is not really structure in 5 minutes or whatever. I'm not sure how explain this properly, but I don't know. Keep the great work, Kramek. You did a nice track. I'm not sure where you can send it, but yeah, keep the great work, and I'm sure you will find the right home for this track. Yeah, keep working hard in your sound, your language, and your world. He's from Valencia, and he said hello. We say hello also from Valencia to Valencia. And now we are gonna listen a track by Dystopian One. But I'm a bit confused because it's called Rey Flora Fauna. So, but it's sent by Dystopian One. Let's listen. this track is also sounding fantastic, so congrats. It's a really great track. The structure is great. The elements are pretty special. And yeah, I think there's sounding the beat is, at least here, is sounding really, really great. The break is nice. The drop is nice. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is exactly what I'm looking for Syncopat, because yeah, it has some elements I like it, but perhaps this kind of sound is going in another direction. But I find it really, really, yeah, really great work. So yeah, good one, dystopian one. Yeah, and keep the great work. Let me check for 1 second if everything is being okay on the record or on the live we are doing, because I'm now alone in the studio and I need to check. 1 second. Yes, everything seems to be working. So now we are going to continue. We are doing a bit late. Yes, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm trying to do my very best to give feedbacks. And yeah, anyway, we're going to be listening all the tracks I have here. So hopefully it's not taking 3 hours. But yeah, now we are on the track number 10. And we are going to listen now a track by Matt Farley. And the track is called Memories of a Trip. How I normally listen a track. I'm listening in few parts until the break. It's important to know how the track is it's developing until the main break, and then the main break. It's quite important for me. I'm not sure if I told about this in some interviews and some always I give classes. I talk about I normally at least the dance floor oriented tracks, I start from the break and then I build from to the left and to the right. So I'm not really starting from the beginning. That it's normally what is doing a lot of people, but for me, working from the main break, then the drop, and then the rest, it's really helping. So let's continue listen this one. The break is nice. The piano is sounding a bit strange here. Not bad, but a bit strange. I think the track would sound much more special with another piano sound. And yeah, perhaps the piano. I would not have it after the drop. It's nice on the break, but a bit cliché after the break. kind of lead is like also a bit cliche, but as I told you, I'm trying to avoid cliches on syncopad, which is sometimes really hard because the music you do or we release sometimes also include cliches or became an inspiration for other people, which also became a cliche at the end. So yeah, the track is really cool. I like it. I think with another piano, as I say, would be better. And yeah, it's really nice. The structure is great. It's sounding good. Perhaps I'm missing some more special elements. Something that when I listen the track, I have the feeling that I'm really listening something new and special. That's the most important thing for me. I need to have the feeling that I'm listening something new and special. I know that for many people and the artists that are starting are the main goal is to sound like someone, a track that you like it. But step by step, I think you have to search for your own language and adding things from one kind of sound or one style of music. Or, I mean, don't be afraid to add unexpected things. And yeah, I'm sure that this track with some unexpected parts or elements would be even better. So let's gonna listen now a track by Cosmo Solar, You Forgot.
I am here to remind you.
Another track that is sounding great. I'm really amazed how the people is sounding better and better. That we are getting really great sounding demos. Yeah, Cosmo Solar did a great track. This is another track I probably, if I listen, I would download to listen another day. But there are things I am not really into. The voice is nice, but I'm getting a bit tired of it after listening a while. So I would listen more just in a break. It's like something special, and I don't know. I'm also missing like some more kind of more leitmotif, more special leitmotif on it. But the kick, the beat, the wall beat, and the bass sounding great. So great work. Yeah, I also wanted to say, don't want to forget about this, that some people send me 2 or 3 tracks. So from these people, I just took one. So in case you have sent like 3 tracks or 2 tracks, I just decide to take the one I prefer. So yeah, just in case you send several tracks and you are thinking why I'm just listening one, is because there were a lot of demos and yeah, I have to decide which ones we have to listen. A part of Stilik that he sent 2 tracks in 2 different times but yeah, I think it was cool to listen his music. And yeah, we're gonna listen a track by Indie Elephant, and it's called Alliance. Indie Elephant says this is hello, and this is my story about indie dance. The track is sounding also great, really powerful. It reminds me a lot of the music, some tracks or a lot of tracks I have already listened. So again, I'm listening like some cliches here. The lead is perhaps sounding too much. Let's gonna listen again. The Bram, there's this bass note, I call it Bram. It's sounding too much for me. I mean, you can use it once, 2 times, but it's too much. The break is too long. I mean, it's nice, but I'm just getting lost into such a long break. That's a really well production, but with a lot of cliches. But yeah, great work in the Elephant. Keep working hard. Keep creating your own world. Yeah, the vocal is nice, but I don't know. It's like not really fitting with. At least I have the feeling that it's not really fitting with all the story. It's cool to listen it there, but I don't know. I have the feeling it's not. At least I have the feeling of it's not really part of the story. So let's listen now a track by Senk Bale, and the track is called Down of the Day. So I decided to select this track because there are really cool sounds on it, and yeah, I think it has really interesting things. The break is too long for me, and yeah, there are elements sounding for me too much. Even the cool sounding, if you use it too much, yeah, you get a bit tired of it. But yeah, it's a great track. As you can listen, it's sounding not so loud. It's a remaster, so even going louder, it's even not so loud like the others. But yeah, there's really cool things on it. I recommend you, as I say, it's not so important for me the sound. I'm trying just to keep the how a track is sounding away. I'm just focusing on how special it is, but sometimes it's difficult. And I'm doing this, but most of the people will not do it. So I recommend you, instead of sending a pre-master, at least using a limiter, at least not having like this little piece of audio, having like a more, because for many people who has labels, if they listen a track like a pre-master, probably they just will jump to the next one. So my recommendation is try to, there's, you will find in every limiter or bass limiter you could have out there, there's a preset called master boost, something like this. So try to just go a bit up. Even though I think this track is really nice, has interesting things, has a lot of glitches, but again, Sengbale, great work. Keep looking for your own language, your own sound, and I'm sure you will do great things. Now we are gonna listen a track by Miguel AF, and the track is called Civiline. The production skills, technical skills are really good. Miguel, you are doing great music. Even when Syncopat is not the label for this track, I find there are really great elements. I really like the space, how you use the reverbs. Perhaps I'm missing some more dynamic. What I say dynamic, not really dynamic in the structure of the track. Which I mean moments of not having so much elements, so many things happening. You know, it's like, yeah, the story should not be like this all the time. You can go like this, continue like this, and then yeah, the track is great, but yeah, I'm feeling more of this. The lead is sounding really great. It's sounding really cool. Yeah, the structure is also great. So yeah, keep working hard, Miguel. You are doing great music, and yeah, keep the great work. We're gonna listen now a track by Raúl Ron, and the track is called Time Lapse. It's also a track sounding great, the track that Raúl Ron did. But I have the feeling that having in most of the demos we are getting, there's a lot of cliches. Also, yeah, as you see, I have jumped from the beginning to almost the end, and there's sometimes most of the parts there are not really big changes on it, and there are like this great drop coming at the end. So that's something that I find in many tracks, that the people keep the great things for the end. I guess because, as we were talking before, they are starting from the beginning, so they build the track and at the end they find something interesting and they add it just at the end. So yeah, try to, once you have first have clear the idea of what you want to use, and then build your track instead of just building and looking for things. Yeah, you can look for little details, arranges, but if you have clear what you want on your track from the beginning, then the story will be more interesting. The structure will be, at least for me, better explained. So yeah, let's say congrats to Raul. You did a great work. And yeah, we're gonna listen now Sound Moses. And the track is called Multiple Personalities.
If you have multiple personalities,
This I jump a bit fast because this one I listened it before. Not the rest of the tracks I have listened just a little bit, but this track I have listened it more. So yeah, the track has cool things, but I have the feeling it has, from the beginning to an end, there's the same things happening. So again, try to explain your story in another way. It's not really a syncopate track, at least I don't feel it so. But yeah, I guess, yeah, if you work on this track, it has potential for more techno labels. And yeah, great work, Sound Moses. And he says from India, so we say hello to India. We send warm regards and much love to the people there. Now that is really a shit moment right now in India. So, Sound, hope you are good and safe. Yeah, we send you warm regards from Spain. We are gonna listen now a track by Psychotherapy. It's sent by Psychotherapy, but the name of the artist is called Das Sick, and the track is called Entropy. I'm gonna give you also an advice when I listen this track. There's a hi-hats, like a really bright hi-hats. I guess you can realize if you listen at home or with your headphones. There's a really loud hi-hats, and that's cool if you wanna create tension. But if you use it from the beginning to the end, the tension is totally killed. So yeah, try to avoid using a loud hi-hat too much. Again, this is the kind of the track when I listen, I realize that there are really cool sounds on it, but the track has not much to be with me, or I'm not really into it. But yeah, even though it has really great things, I cannot talk so much about this one. There are really cool sounds on it. This hi-hat, I find it interesting. As I say, try to not build the track like so loopy, it's I always like that. At least when the people listen your music, don't have the feeling that it's made by a robot, so there are a lot of tricks like using swing, working with the volume of the elements along the track, not repeating so much, or doing changes after 16 beats. I don't know. There's a lot of things to do. Yeah, I found interesting to talk about this. We're gonna listen now a track by Benny Mattern, and the track is called Corrupt Vision.
In the illusion, what we see overrides what we hear. So the mouth movements we see as we look down as it is.
That's another track similar to the last one. It has cool sounds. It has some elements I like it, but it has not too much to be with me. Or syncopat. But yeah, I think it's also interesting to listen what it's coming, and as I say, to try to get good things from one sound or one style or another. I wanted to talk about this also because it's in Hello Demo. You can add some comments, which is great. I mean, it's you can write and explain how who are you, where are you coming from, but it's important to I mean, you even if you write like a big letter of how where are you coming from and who you are or whatever, it will not help to I will not like more if you write me a good thing. It's always really welcome if you say you appreciate syncopat music and you like our work. That's really good. But for example, it's not a good idea to write on the comments that you want to you would like to release this an EP, and but you are open to release it like a normal. I mean, try to not try to be more, I don't know how to explain, like not force the one is listening to release it on a way or another, or just try to make it easy. Yeah, I think that the word is try to make it easy. Something that also is not working and I really don't like, I'm not sure if other people like it, but I don't like when a guy send me 2 tracks and he already got 2 remixes for it. I mean, in case I want to sign your music, and in case I want a remix, I will look for it, or I will talk to you to find someone that we both like it. But don't try to send a close EP, because on this way I find you have less possibilities that if you just send 1 track or 2 tracks or 3 tracks, because you are also forcing a bit the label on this. So I wanted to talk about this, and and this advice, at least if you want to send music to syncopat, will work. We are gonna listen. We are arriving to the last demos. We are listening Right Mood. The track is sent by Right Mood. The artist is called Right Mood, and the track is called Take You There. Again, it's a great track with elements I like it. It's similar. I have the same feeling, or a similar feeling of the track we listened before. It was a remix, and the track is cool. I mean, I have the feeling that perhaps the beat it's too loopy, and the story is and the structure is a bit too loopy. But there's again, it's a track that perhaps using this vocal and doing it on another way. I'm using perhaps other elements for the beat, or even using doing a unexpected bass or something that really makes this track really outstanding. Could be nice. I mean, at least when I listen to the track, the vocal, and I have the feeling that it's something special, which it's not so common nowadays. So great work, right mood, and yeah, keep the great work. I'm sure you're gonna do great things in the future. We are now arriving to the last track, and it's called by Giuseppe Moravito, and it's called, his artist name is Abyss, and the track is Wicked Games. So on this track, I really like the lead, how the lead is sounding. I'm not so into like starting with this synth here start and then coming in. But there's really good elements, not sounding really good here, but as I said, that's not really important for me. But the synth, the main synth, I find it interesting. This kind of bass, like bubble bass, I really like it. But again, there's elements repeating too much, and it's really a bit cliche in some parts, and yeah, I have the feeling that having really good elements at the end is not something really interesting for me, the track. Yes, at the end, you have to think that and this is really important, and it will help me to end this first live feedback session for Hello Demo. And it's important that you catch the attention really fast of the one who is listening. And yeah, even more when you are an unknown artist. So really work on that. Try to work in your own language. Try to structure the tracks properly or better. Just check tracks from artists you like it. Compare how they explain the story, how they structure everything. Don't copy, but at the end, sometimes copying a structure is not bad. I mean, so it's something that could help you to understand how others' minds, other producers' mind are working. So yeah, try to develop your own language. And yeah, thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for sending the demos. I'm sorry if someone is get pissed by what I say, but yeah, I'm trying to be honest. And yeah, there's a lot of great producers out there, and yeah, I'm sure that a lot of great music is gonna come. So yeah, keep sending demos for Syncopad. We will love to listen. And thanks Hello Demo for this chance, and hopefully we repeat soon. So thanks so much, and have a nice evening. Bye bye.